All right, I just want to point out a few things that you need to keep in mind and show your customers each and every time you know they are also looking at the 2011 Sonata compared to an 11 Camry. Underneath the hood, engine of this car is actually quite advanced for the segment. It does have everything the Toyota engine has on it, with variable valve timing on the intake and the exhaust valves, as well as gasoline direct injection, which is just a more efficient way of getting fuel into the combustion chamber. It does give this engine quite a bit of power, and on the window sticker, a gas mileage advantage, 22 city, 35 highway on the Sonata 2.4 liter. If you look at Consumer Reports and their average gas mileage test, the Camry averaged 26 miles per gallon, the Sonata averaged 27 miles per gallon. So yes, does get 1 point better, but not as large of a discrepancy as you would think by looking at the window sticker. One thing I can say about this engine is it is quite buzzy when you drive this car. One of the reasons being not as much sound deadening material as you're going to find in a Toyota. Also though, the exhaust manifold is in the back of this engine, whereas the exhaust manifold of the Camry engine is in the front of the engine, therefore creating less engine noise right next to the passenger compartment. You are going to get 2 years scheduled maintenance with the Toyota. 2 years, 25,000 miles, a total of 5 services, and 2 years unlimited miles roadside assistance. When you look at just a couple of things I wanted to point out of this engine, the lack of detail, which is what you're going to find in your Hyundai compared to a Toyota. Looking at some of these wires here, they're just covered up by electrical tape and just kind of hanging out. Any electrical wires you're going to find underneath the hood of the Camry will have plastic tubing. Yes, covered by electrical tape, but at least they're in plastic tubing, and they're not just kind of hanging out willy-nilly. Inside of this car is what you need to focus on when talking to your customer, because yes, this is a very attractive car, but there's a lot of compromises when you do get this sweeping, sloping roof like this. Inside this car, every dimension in the front seat, if you look at any vehicle comparison, whether it's Toyota's website, Hyundai's website, Emmons.com is going to say this has a larger front seat than the Camry. What you will find though is when you sit inside this car, particularly the front seat, not only does this sit lower than the Camry, your older customer is going to have difficulty getting in and out of the seat. The Camry, you have your palm assist feature on the driver's seat. You place your hand, your palm on the plastic portion of the seat, push yourself out of the car. It's actually perforated on the Camry for your palms. There's also no handle up here above the driver's door on the Sonata, whereas you have a handle on the Camry where that older customer can pull themselves out of the vehicle. And of course, your seat in the Camry sits higher, so it's easier to get in and out of. When a customer does sit in this car, this area might be very long, provide a lot of leg room, but it's also very, very narrow. Some taller drivers have complained that when they sit in the driver's seat of this car, their knees are actually contacting the center console, which curves out. Either hits it when they get in and out of the car, or it's resting on this hard plastic